Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the Privacy Guy. Today, I'm kind of moving away from privacy for this video. It's still going to be included a little bit, just kind of relating to the topic. But what I want to discuss are the most popular search engines in the world. So there are a number of private search engines that I've covered before, like DuckDuckGo, StartPage, Quant, etc. But there's a bunch of other search engines out there that aren't specifically made for privacy, but I think are still, worth covering just to give you a better idea of what the market looks like for search engines. So the top 5 search engines in the world are Google, Bing, Baidu, Yahoo, and Yandex. So I'm just going to run through those. The first one, Google, I'm sure most people have used Google just because it's the default search engine for almost every browser out there. It's installed by default on our phones, and it holds 92.26% of the global market share. So Google's absolutely crushing it. They do tons of searches per day, both on desktop and mobile devices. So Google, that one's pretty obvious. Next up is Bing, which is Microsoft's search engine. Bing can come installed by default on certain Windows devices with Edge, but Bing obviously has much smaller of a market share than Google. It's kind of, Google has 92%, and then everybody else just claws and kills each other trying to get that other 8% of the market. Bing has probably maybe less than 5% of the market. But Bing is a good alternative if for some reason you don't want to use Google. The results are going to be a little different. So if you're having trouble finding certain information that you're looking for with Google, you can always try Bing as a quick alternative. Bing's pretty easy to access, I guess, just bing.com. So I'm sure many of you have heard of Bing as well, but as far as most people say, Bing's results are not as good as Google's, and obviously the market share kind of speaks for itself. Then next up is Baidu, which is kind of the Chinese Google. There are other search engines in China like Google, certain versions of Google that are censored to accommodate the specific needs and demands of the Chinese government. Google's kind of leaving a lot of money on the table by not offering a service to China, so they're forced into kind of compromising with the Chinese government and certain regulations and content restrictions there. But Baidu is a Chinese company. It's a super huge internet company in China, but just holds probably 2% of the global search engine market. You can use it in the US, you can use it in China. It's available in it's available in most languages, so it's super accessible. And yeah, you can try it out. It's same with most alternative search engines. The results just aren't as good as Google's. So next up, number 4 is Yahoo. Yahoo was a big player in the internet industry early on. Yahoo was kind of fighting for market share with Google. And then Google just kind of ran away with things as Google developed its own browser and apps that included its search engine and were able to kind of take over the market. But Yahoo was big in like 2000. If you were on the internet in 2000, your homepage probably was Yahoo, and you probably searched with Yahoo on occasion. Today, Yahoo has a very small market share, but are up there with the alternatives to Google as one of the top alternatives. One interesting thing is that Bing and DuckDuckGo and some other search engines actually use Yahoo's results. Bing sometimes kind of has its own results, but mostly just sources results from Yahoo. The advertising could be separate, but Yahoo's used on a lot of the alternatives to Google just because they're more accessible, I guess. Doing business with Yahoo seems to be easier for these small companies starting up search engines than it is to reach out to Google. Although StartPage has done that and is able to use Google's results. And then finally is Yandex. I've made a video about Yandex before. It's a Russian search engine. It's been adapted to use in the US, but again, it's just not, the results just aren't as good as Google. And yeah, you can try that one too. It's available in English, it's available in Russian, but yeah, it's just not that great. And then just a couple other search engines that I think are worth mentioning. DuckDuckGo, I've gone on and on about on this channel. It's a privacy-friendly search engine, so if you're looking to kind of move away from Google in 2021 and beyond, DuckDuckGo is a good alternative. Its results are not based on Google, they're from Yahoo, so if you think Yahoo results are the worst, you probably won't like DuckDuckGo, but it does have some added features that make it pretty convenient and easy to use. So I recommend DuckDuckGo if you're looking for a private search engine. Another one is Ecosia. It's a privacy-friendly search engine. It doesn't track users and collect tons of information like Google does, but it's focused on planting trees. It's focused on having an impact, positive impact on the environment. So every time you do a search, every time they generate revenue from ad clicks, Ecosia donates a portion of their revenue to certain charities, to planting trees, and I think it's just kind of an awesome product that's doing something good, so I'm always going to recommend it. And then finally, StartPage. As a privacy advocate, StartPage is a privacy-friendly search engine that uses Google's results. So if you've tried DuckDuckGo and you're like, man, I just can't do it because the results just aren't what I'm looking for, StartPage is a good place to try as an alternative. It uses Google's results, so if you're familiar with those, as most people are, StartPage is a good tool to use to search the web and get great results without compromising your privacy or handing your information over to Google. So StartPage, private search engine, uses Google's results. Yeah, so those are the top 5 search engines, and then a few bonus search engines based on my personal recommendations and on their privacy-friendly nature. So thanks for watching today. I appreciate you tuning in, and stay tuned for more videos. Thanks.